Last time I was looking at my phone, you sent me away.
That's all right, mate. All is forgiven. It's good to have you back.
Thank you. Nathan Cleary said we can't do this show tonight because we've never played footy.
See you next weekend.
We're going to do it anyways.
Let's do it anyways.
Welcome back to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by our good friends at Top Sport and the Stubby Club. Don't forget to like and subscribe to everyone. Dan, it's good to be back.
It is. It's good to have you, mate. Of course, Mitch, shout out, did a fantastic job last year.
Not good enough, but...
Not good enough. We had to bring back the big man for the big news. It was a fantastic weekend of rugby league. Well, let's get the serious stuff, done before we start making fun and the lighter things. Fantastic weekend of football. Mm-hmm. The pre and post match stuff has been just incredible. We're at the pub on Sunday afternoon. Everyone stopped talking for the ceremony. It's good to see. It is a fantastic weekend. Anyone who had bugle fatigue, that's on you because I love it. Congratulations
to Luke Keary and Nick Meaney.
Yeah, the
recipients
Anzac
of
medals.
The Anzac medalists, yeah.
Great stuff.
Do you think there should be a medal for every game?
No, I like it.
Yeah, because it's different fixtures every year, right? Yeah.
I'm all
good with those, yeah. But let's get into rugby league, Dan. Now, Tuesday, it's been announced, Jack Wighton has signed with the Bunnies for 4 years. We're going to take two sides to this, Dan.
Yeah, wasn't it? It was nice of them to wait until we were recording. Yeah. So hopefully by the time this goes live, we're the first.
Yeah.
If not, we're the second.
Whatever. Let's look at it from a Canberra point of view. Now, obviously Canberra have gone on the defensive straight away. They've lost their local boy, the player that they've turned into an Origin winner, a World Cup winner. He's literally the face of everything that Canberra do, right or wrong.
One is LM, Clive Churchill.
Mm-hmm. But now they're going to go to the NRL and say, well, look, we lodged with you our offer $1.1 million and Jack's taking unders to go elsewhere. I think that's a little bit childish, right?
It's a lot childish.
I think it's a lot childish. Well, I'll go a little bit on this. I understand that you don't want the player to leave. No one ever wants the player to leave. How heartbroken would we be if Nico Hines didn't resign with us?
Very.
But at the end of the day, he's now 30 years old. He's earned his money. He's won his Origin titles. He's won the World Cup, as we said. All that's missing is a premiership.
That's it. Well, he came out and said, I'm chasing premiership. And Canberra's hearts immediately dropped.
Yeah.
For good reason.
So he's won everything in the game. As you said, Dally M, Churchill, hasn't won the premiership, though.
No, well, he wants to go to South and pinch into premiership. Can't blame him.
The other thing as well is, where does this leave Canberra now? Because they struggle in the recruitment market. And you can't turn around and go, well, let's go to England, because the best half from England is George Williams or Dodd.
Been and gone. Yeah, look, let's talk about Canberra first. I think it leaves them in big trouble. They upped their offer, which I believe was Jack Wighton's initial plan, yeah. But then when he's heard Sousa said, "Oh, we can make this happen," I think he jumped at the chance. Obviously, to play with his cousin, I believe, Latrell Mitchell. If
best
not,
mate.
Yeah, very close mate. So, okay, from Canberra, yeah, they're in big trouble. On the positive, they got $1.1 million. Who wants to go to Canberra?
That's the thing, like.
And look, I'm not having a go, but...
I'm not having a go now, but this is,
I'm kind of having a go.
The foresight of recruitment here is you can easily turn around and go, well, we can go and get a Braden Trindle, or we can go and get this player here, or we can go, it's not Jack Wighton. No, it's not Jack Wighton. He's the bloke that they built the club around, let's be honest. He's the face of it. We were down in Canberra a couple of weeks ago, it's Jack Wighton everywhere. Yeah, it's Jack Wighton mania. Now, to go back to what you said before about him accepting unders, as is his right. Yeah. The reason the NRL had this rule, and it's not a steadfast rule. No, it's not a set in stone rule. Is to stop super teams. It's to stop 13 superstars going, you know what, let's get together, all take unders, and win a couple of premierships in a row. So, okay, Canberra have the right to go, but I think they go back and say, too bad. It's not like if he's signing for 200K, okay, that says to me there's a problem. 700 though, it's hardly taken. I mean, it's a pay cut, but it's still 750K. But you can't go, for mine as well, is you can't have a look at what you wanted to offer. Look at what he's on now. Plus, he's going to play centre. Yeah, Fox Sports have come out and said that he was only on 900,000 this year. Only on 900,000 this year. Poor bugger. So he's not taking a $400,000 pay cut. He's only taking a $200,000 pay cut. Someone going into their 30s. Yeah. Mate, it's completely, that could have been forced upon him if he wasn't the player and the name that he was. He's come out and said that he's not playing Origin. He's retired from the Origin arena and the rep arena. So he's probably cost himself 150K there because he's probably getting picked 3 times. It's obvious that money doesn't motivate him at this point in his career. And being that he's 30,
wants to win a premiership. I can't place any blame on him as much as I want to.
No, and now let's flip this. Let's have a look at it from South's point of view. They've got themselves a guy who's going to be available during Origin.
Correct.
Because Latrell's probably going to play, almost definitely going to play.
Yep.
And there's always every chance that Cody Walker can play, right? But
Damien Cook,
yeah. But on the flip side of it, if Latrell goes, you've got a really handy guy to go to fullback.
Yeah, you do.
If Campbell Graham gets in the Origin team, you've still got a superstar in your back line. What a player.
It's a great pickup for South.
Like, I'm kind of fuming that if we knew that he was going to take $700K to play in the centres, why didn't we have a crack?
Completely fair. It's a good question. I'm sure a lot of teams are going to do that, but I have a feeling it was South or nothing.
Yeah.
It was either I'm going to take 1.2 and go up to the Dolphins. I'm going to stay where I am, where I'm comfortable. I'm going to go play with my best mate and try and win a premiership. Because let's be fair to income here. South are in a much better position than either of the two aforementioned.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely
good on Jack Wighton. I am looking forward to seeing how much of a stink Canberra kick up. Do they drop him this weekend?
No.
I've seen Canberra fans come out and call for it. I understand the frustration, but who's going to come up? Matt Frawley?
Brad Schneider, or whatever his name is.
You just cop it.
You can't do it.
Boo him the first time he touches the ball and get over it. He's got, I was going to say a premiership to win. He's got 9th spot to achieve.
Yeah, he's got the rest of the season to play for you guys. Let it happen on a good memory.
It's a farewell tour.
Dan, let's talk about Luke Brooks.
This is a hot button issue, so this might get heated on the couch.
It could get heated on the couch. Now I want to take it from a different point of view here, right? Please. Saturday night, I put out a tweet saying, just remember when you wake up tomorrow, it's going to be the 1-year anniversary since Luke Brooks last won a game.
365 days. Lots of laughs.
Once they lost, I tweeted, it's literally been 365 days.
Correct.
Now I got 150, 160 likes off of that. It's cheap likes.
It's a humorous... You're not attacking him.
No.
It's just a humorous jab.
Now, after I made that tweet, Fox Sports made the same tweet. And everyone's copying it and quoting it and saying, think about the players' mental health and don't you ever go and talk about players' mental health. But the same people who were quote tweeting this liked my tweet. So where do you stand on Luke Brooks, the 365 days, the fact that it's a stat? It's not a jab at the player. It's a full-blown stat.
It is a stat. It is a stat for the punters, such as yourself, to tweet in a humorous fashion. It's not for Fox Sports to tweet out. Okay, as you've got, 1,000 followers, give or take?
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, take. You put it out as a humorous, with no harm, no intention. There's no chance he'll see that.
No, look, I did it to jab a few Tigers fans, get some cheap likes.
Of course you did. And I would jump on the same bandwagon. I didn't know that, full disclosure. For Fox NRL to go...
the home of rugby league.
Yeah, did someone from the admin team say, hey, this probably isn't a good idea? Let's face it, they did it for interactions and they got him. All negative. You've seen Ronaldo jump on and say, don't talk about player welfare. Yeah, look, fair enough, they can't because that's done. But he hasn't won a game in a full calendar year of football and he's on $1 million and he's a marquee halfback. This is on the Tigers.
But this is the thing now. Let's look. If an NBA team didn't win a game for or a player in the NBA didn't win a game for a calendar year, ESPN would be all over it.
It's everywhere.
If the NFL, if someone in the NFL didn't win a game for a calendar year, it would be everywhere. EPL, exactly the same thing, right?
100%.
This is not. It's not a jab at Luke Brooks. It's a full-blown stat. Yeah. The bloke has not won a game since April last year, right? They got Penrith this week. It's going to be another week. It's, this is just pointing out the issues that they have at the Tigers.
Yeah. Now, people, I don't know what it is with Luke Brooks. Maybe it is the fact that he hasn't been winning games. He cops a lot, right? He cops a lot. So do other footballers. And I'm not condoning it. The pylons, they're not for me outside of a jovial poke in the DMs or something. But even that, I shouldn't do. And I fully admit that. But this is a bloke who's paid handsomely. He's been surrounded by world-class recruits. Appy Coruscant, Papali, Clemmer, Bateman.
Yeah.
He's got to win football games. And for someone to come out and say he hasn't won a football game in a year, okay, it's not just him, but being the halfback, it's got a lot to do with him. At what point do the Tigers say enough and sit him down? Now, I don't think they can because Adam Dewey's out and who are they going to call up? Scotty No One from the West Tigers who's not playing that well. the reserve grade team. So I think the West Tigers have got to sit Brooks down and say, we got to apologise for this, because he had a chance to go to Newcastle 2 years ago, and I think it would have benefited everyone. And I guarantee he'd be a better player because he's got Tiger stink on him.
Do you think Luke Brooks, though, like, he knows that he hasn't won it? I don't know. I sit on a different side of the fence because, like, I love smashing the Tigers. Right, and so do the 16 other teams in the NRL. They love smashing the Tigers too.
It's all fair and love and war.
That's what it is. But do I think that it was right for Fox to put that out with? Probably not. Right? Probably not. But
he wasn't tagged in it.
People are looking at it from the wrong way because it's a stat.
Yeah, well, it's a stat.
It's a stat. We love stats.
Yeah, look, I'm fence sitting because, I don't think they should have done it, but I'm sort of justifying the fact that it was out there because it is what it is. You know what the quickest way to end this is? Beat the Panthers.
Win a game. All right, Dan. Once again,
I didn't want to put it on.
We have to talk about our mates, the referees.
What this week, Terry?
They're just reacting to injuries.
They are reacting to injuries.
Classic case, Melbourne versus Warriors.
Yep.
Christian Walsh goes in, swings his arm, completely misses the guy. Old mate was slipping.
Yep.
Falls down, hits his head on the ground, holds his head. Green Atkins blows a penalty.
As our producer said, referee in the background
waved it off.
No touch, it's all good. Edward Coasey grabbed at his head because his head hit the ground. Would have hurt. And they yelled penalty. Now, he wasn't milking it by any stretch.
No.
Christian Walsh got up. He apologised. He tapped the guy on the head, then said challenge because he knew. He knew it wasn't a penalty. I guarantee you, if he gets up and keeps running, they don't even look at it.
No, you don't look at that. And that's the thing. Old mate would have got up and kept running.
Yeah, but he hit his head.
He hit his head.
That wasn't even the most explosive moment of that game in this reference.
No, because you're having a look next. And you and I both thought it probably should have been called a penalty, but I didn't think it was. But Nelson, his shoulder definitely made contact with... his arm.
Yeah.
Definitely made contact with Dylan Walker.
Yeah.
But no penalty was given. Because they said it hit the shoulder first. But it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. 15 times this weekend. I said that's a penalty. You said no, it's not. Then we both saw it and said, well, it's been a penalty 15 times. Why not this time? So we have Dylan Walker, who I'm on record as saying I don't particularly like.
Hate the bloke.
He was making a tackle. Swinging tackle, bringing the bloke down. Katoa.
Katoa, yeah. I hope you're right.
Yeah, I hope you're right, because it was awful to see, and he was really...
He was groggy,
He didn't look good, and I'm glad to hear the update that he has been relatively cleared. They've looked at it. He's injured. Someone has to go to the sin bin. They've called a head slam. There was no head slam motion. He was just bringing him down to a tackle. It was just a horrible moment. It's rugby league, and we've seen him sin bin. Now, of course, it's funny, but it's not a sin bin.
I'll reference this to you. If that's Nico Hines making that tackle, he's not binned.
That's fair enough. Our referees...
Yeah. And then now let's have a look at this, the Victor Radley scenario.
I knew exactly where that was going, please.
The Victor Radley scenario, right? So it was a head clash first, and then there was a shoulder. There was another view that showed the shoulder to the head.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't direct contact.
No, he fell...
And it wasn't forceful contact, but it was Victor Radley. So Victor Radley got sin-binned for the offence of being Victor Radley.
James Tedesco said as much too, and the ref said, we're not going down that line.
Again, guarantee you that if that was Isa Yeo on that play, he's not sin-bin. Victor Radley didn't get sin-bin for foul play. Victor Radley got sin-bin because his name was Victor Radley.
The NRL will never admit it, and I dare say that there's a fine headed Trent Robinson's way for suggesting that. But we can say it.
Yeah.
He got sin-bin for being Victor Radley.
Because again, like Nelson has got away with that shot there. But
if that's Radley, it's a penalty.
Yeah, Radley, it's a penalty. Fuck, Dylan Walker was probably a penalty. If Dylan Walker did that to Nelson, he's probably in the bin. Like,
it was both. Yeah, it's just super frustrating. I'm sick of seeing it, but it's not going to end anytime soon.
Finally, we're going to talk about hit drops again.
God, we didn't even put it on the list this week. That's how much I didn't want to talk about it.
You asked me for another point. Here it is, hip drops.
Hip drops, okay, here we go.
Again, what constitutes a hip drop? Because Payne Haas, again on reputation, was not penalised. Now, Regan Campbell-Gillard is injured from this.
Yeah.
And now Payne Haas has been suspended.
1 week.
Ezra Mam was penalised for his.
The hippiest hip drop of all time.
Huh?
It was the hippiest hip drop of all time.
Yeah, that was the most blatant one. But he only gets a week.
Yep.
And his was worse than Dale Finucane's and worse than Martin Iacore's.
Well,
It's worse than all those guys.
Hopgood's been sin-bin 2 weeks in a row and has yet to face a week suspension for 2 hip drops. these two players did it once, albeit worse, and get suspended. Campbell Gillard's tackle was the worst. The one on Campbell Gillard was the worst because it's led to an injury. It was only a matter of time before he saw a serious injury.
So one of Jermaine hip drops, he wasn't even fined for it.
Yep.
The referee just, again, went, it's a hip drop because you jumped off the ground.
We've seen him penalised and suspended. We've seen him penalised and sin bin. We've just seen him penalised, and we've seen 50 missed. It is the worst thing about rugby league right now by a long, long way. And it's every time a player grabs at something, you think it's a hip drop.
Grabs their leg, yeah.
Doesn't matter if there's a front on tackle and they pat him down, they kiss him on the forehead and read him a story. If he grabs at something, it's a hip drop and you're off for 10. That is ridiculous. Jerry.
Talk to me, Dan.
Time to talk some black, white and blue, and it's another great week to be a Shark fan.
It is. Look, I missed the recap of the Roosters game, which was probably lucky because the show would have gone for about an hour.
It was good. We talked in great detail, and it was very, very fun. But I dare say this week might be just as long and just as fun because we ran out convincing winners against the Bulldogs.
13 plus.
What were your thoughts? Yeah, we said Sharks 13 plus. So.
Well, I mean, again, not happy with the defence. And not happy with the lapse in defence as well, right? Conceding a try right on half-time should not happen. Now, fair enough, Matt Burton threw the ball 10 yards forward and he's probably going to get drafted by the Patriots on Friday.
Yeah, we need him.
But other than that, look, in terms of attack, we were slick, we were fluid, there weren't too many glaring errors where you just turn around and went, we didn't make many errors coming out of our own half.
It was good, yeah. Improved performance.
Improved performance.
I used the words solid yet unspectacular.
Yeah, solid without being spectacular.
I think that's fair. Now, you look at the scoreline, you think, the Sharks did the job. And look, not for 1 second did I think we were under any chance of losing the game.
No.
I was annoyed that we didn't shut the game out 10 minutes earlier.
30 to 14, we needed to put 2 more tries on.
We were at the game, we had a great time, and shout out to the fair few Sharks fans out there, which is good to see. There'll be more on Thursday, of course. But you come away from the game thinking, man.
The good thing about a game like this against the Dogs, right? And I said it when Souths beat them on Good Friday, 50 to 14 or whatever it was. What do you work on at training when you've won by 50 points?
Try celebration.
Very good.
Thank you.
But when you play the Dogs and you still win by 13, but it's a game like that, Fitz has still got a bit to work on.
Yeah, he's got a lot to work on.
Cronulla still have a bit to work on. Now, on a points per game basis, fair enough, the Broncos score more points than anyone else. They played a game more than Cronulla. Points per game basis, Cronulla have got the best attack in the competition. Most line breaks, most line break assists. Our centre is top of the try assists. Our halfback is handsome as hell.
Fullback's second on the tries.
Fullback's second on the tries as well. Not bad for a pre-season poll that said that people would take Hayes Perham over him. But
we need to rerun that poll.
Anyway, you've got a lot to take away from this game. Now, as a fan, you and I sort of both left that game going, well, a win's a win. Yeah. And I said it at the pub at full time. If you win 1-0 every week, you're undefeated and you've won it. Your for and against might be plus 25, but you've still won every game. Now, you can be upset with the win because you didn't play well.
Yep. I wasn't, full disclosure, I wasn't upset this week.
Same way as, peak Melbourne. You could go down to Melbourne and if you lost by 6 points, that's a great result.
Feeling good.
If you lose by 46 points, it's a diabolical result.
It's different.
So, yeah, I'm glad that, in round 8, there's a bit to work on. Had that performance been in round 22, I'm probably leaving that ground going, we're going to bomb out the finals.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair. Now, speaking of the things we need to improve on, Ronaldo Mulitalo. Second time.
It was really good to see Fitz talk about this in the post-game press conference.
Now, I'm willing to say that his words off camera would have been a little bit different to those on camera. I thought he handled it exceptionally well.
Yeah, he bombed it by trying not to bomb it.
Yeah. Now, he had 5 metres. I don't think he realised. He was going in, he was celebrating early, and Will Kennedy beside him was celebrating big time. He fluffed it.
He fluffed it, yeah.
If that happened without round 1, you're thinking, silly Ronaldo. Yeah. After round 1, you're starting to think, okay, we're starting to see a pattern now. We just saw last week, he scored one of the tries of the season, one of the best foot.
That's how he needed to ground that try.
He needed to Sione Katoa it.
Yep.
Which is a bit of a shame that we're taking that out of it because otherwise, I don't think Ronaldo played overly well. But that one thing he did do where he just batted the ball down to Matt Moylan, that was training.
I mean, in terms of coming out of our own end and yardage, Ronaldo made the most metres of anyone on the field.
He was brilliant.
But again,
his finishing needs a little bit of work.
He needs to.
It is what it is, but we're trying not to stay negative.
Yeah.
And with the negative comes the very, very positive. William Kennedy.
One of the form fullbacks of the competition.
Name two better. Maybe Latrell in the past month, but other than that...
I'll say Rhys Walsh.
There you go. There's two.
I'll say Rhys Walsh has probably been the best fullback.
As you said, not bad for a player who we, myself included, were saying, oh, maybe we need to move on from William Kennedy. And he's just spent the rest of the season saying, hey, Dan, F you.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is he scored the tries...
As your fullback should.
Yeah, support play. People have ragged on Will Kennedy's support play.
Oh, they can put that in the bin.
Scores a nice try off support. His support play this year's been phenomenal. Scores a nice try in a one-on-one situation with the fellow fullback, rips the ball off him. And scored a third try, which I thought might have been taken off of him, but I'm glad the video referee looked at it and then stopped to tell everyone that Kyle Flanagan was a diver.
It worked out really well for us. Yeah. Now, at the game, we thought it was... Because we saw Flanagan fall, we saw Teague in the vicinity, we thought, oh, here we go. Then they awarded it, and we were like, oh, hold on. One look, and we said, he's flopped.
Yeah.
Teague's run through the line as he should. He ran the inside shoulder. It was perfect. Kyle Flanagan runs his hand out and flops. If he doesn't, he probably gets to Will Kennedy, which makes the try mean more to me. 8 points. In here.
Yeah, but it was just really good that the video referee stopped, broke it down, said Teague Wilton did everything right, ran through the line. Kyle, you're a terrible first grader.
In a flippy flop.
And you can't tackle. So that was great.
It was perfect.
So, yeah, Will Kennedy, easy man of the match in that game there.
Although, Britt Nickera.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal this year.
He burnt everyone. Alamotti to the point where we thought, sitting 1,000 metres away,
it was
geez, Ramian's quick. Wait a minute. That's our second rower. Wow.
And the thing that caught the Dogs by surprise on that is that Ramian ran the decoy.
Yeah, they thought Ramian was getting the ball.
They thought Ramian was getting that ball, and he, they grabbed, oh, hang on a minute, ball's gone. It was a beautiful play, beautiful pass. Our backline movements were... So we've stopped going that across. We straighten up in attack a lot now.
Unfortunately, though, sorry to cut you off, Terry, our best backline movement was ruined by Ronaldo. Because we were behind it and Kennedy goes left, and we both called Kennedy swing.
Yeah.
And he swung. It's gone Brayley, Moylan, Kennedy, Talakai, Ronaldo, try.
Softest hands from Talakai.
Beautiful
ripped off
play.
A try assist.
That is the one that you put up at the end and you cut it off as Ronaldo's diving and say, that was a great try, boys. Well played.
Yeah, that was a great assist there. But not only did we beat the Dogs in first grade, but the Jets had a really, really strong win as well. And they started dreadfully.
Yeah, 10-0 down after.
Yeah, just like that. But
Connor Tracy had the worst 32 minutes of New South Wales
38 minutes that I've ever seen.
And then breaks 42 tackles, and check it wasn't far off. Scores one of the greatest individual tries you ever see.
And I'm surprised that referee didn't take it off of him. He was dreadful. Real good.
Goes in, watches the replay, comes out and is the best player in the park by an absolute mile in the second half.
Not named Jaden Barrow.
Oh, yeah, Barrow was pretty good. I'll tell you what, Brayley's come good over the last 2 weeks. I wonder if that's got anything to do with Beryl being in red hot form.
Yeah, Jaden Beryl has just about been the best player in New South Wales Cup.
Yeah, it's
last couple of weeks. He's been absolutely fantastic. But
Bulldogs were first too.
Yeah, Bulldogs were first going into this game, but that Dogs team is...
No, don't say it.
One of the wingers on the Dogs team was in diapers.
Yeah.
Now, it was a shocking miss from Sam Stone Street on that child, but let's not take it away from it. A lot of their good players were up in first grade. And, it's a much different game. We didn't have our best halfback. This is the alarming thing that I wanted to bring up, though. 160 minutes of football played on Saturday, and Braden Trindle played none.
Yeah, that's probably the one negative this week.
Yeah.
He can't be 18th man. Now, this week we're lucky because we play Thursday night, and if all goes well, Trindle won't be required, and he can play for Newtown, who I believe play the Bears at Henson on Saturday. Make sure you get out if you can. So that's very good. But one thing I want to take a moment, because actually on Fins Up, which is our podcast, please
missed it.
Check it out. Jack Williams.
Phenomenal game.
His best game of the year. I said that you consider his best game as the one where you don't notice him, because he comes on, he makes 100 metres, he makes 20 tackles, he doesn't drop the ball, doesn't give away a penalty. I noticed him this week, so I'm going to contradict myself a little bit. Nico Hines got into a push and shove that wasn't his fault. Kyle Flanagan tried to pull him down. Nico got up and pushed. The Dogs ran at Nico. Jack Williams says, oi. And the Dogs went, sorry, sir.
Yeah, and Jack Williams literally held off 4 people with one hand.
He put one hand, he's hooked Nico around and said, get behind me. And he stood there and they're like, you know what?
No.
This is a dumb idea.
Yeah, it's a really bad idea.
Jack Williams, player of the season. He protects his halfback. Brilliant. Love it.
Absolutely. If that's Chad Townsend, though, I'm probably like
pushing
telling
him
Jack
in front.
to push him.
Here you go, boys. Now, Terry,
Yes.
in this week's exclusive Cynic Stat,
Go.
we have an NRLW signing and she is a superstar. Jada Taylor, thus far known as Jada Highlight, is signed for the Sharks.
Welcome to the black, white and blue, young Jada. For anyone who has missed it, just Google her try in the Origin.
Google her name. It comes up. It's the first 15 searches. Now, I want to make it very clear that she's far more than this highlight.
Yeah.
She's a human highlight reel.
Yeah, she's
And
lightning.
She's coming in and she's going to play fullback. Cronulla Sharks and Indigenous fullbacks, they just go together hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Super signing. Congrats to the team again. There are some more signings coming through. We got 4. We've nailed 4 from 4.
Haven't we?
Oh, so happy.
And this is the thing as well, because reading the comments from Sharks fans, they're going, oh, we're getting this superstar, and that's it. Not every sign is going to be a superstar. There will be some signs that come through and you're going to turn around and go, who and why, but they're squad fillers.
That's it.
We only need 2 more stars.
You've only got a certain amount of full-time contracts. It's a much, much different setup. It will change in future, and you've got to remember a lot of these players that were Sharks juniors and the 4 we've signed have all played for Cronulla at some level, except Tonegata, I believe, but I'm willing to give her
We'll give her a pass on that.
That's fine. These players have played for, say, Brisbane or St George for 4 years. They're rusted on. So don't expect all of them to come back, especially not in one season. But thus far, 4 from 4, 10 out of 10 recruitment.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan,
Talk to me, Terry.
it's time for some top sport tips.
You're guilty now.
Just to let you know that when I was overseas, when you sent me away in that dreadful place of sunshine and
5-star, everything.
accommodation and send me back, I tipped a perfect round.
You did well. Unfortunately, Mitch had a few shockers.
Yeah, it wasn't you.
But that's okay.
It was Mitch.
That is absolutely okay. We're back, and we're here to tip a perfect round. I haven't even looked at the fixtures, so I'm just going to pick on the fly.
Yes. So, Thursday night, we are heading to Shark Park.
All the way down the road.
All the way out that window, we will be heading...
Couple of 100 metres.
Heading down there to watch the Cronulla...
It's time for you to get some revenge, Terry.
The Cronulla Sharks taking on the North Queensland Cowboys. Cowboys, a very, very tough win against the Knights in dreadful conditions. Up
it
there,
was played in Townsville.
Yeah! Very good.
Thank you.
So I are they going to have some tired legs? No Tom Malolo. Nanai as well. I believe, did he get injured or hurt himself in the HIA? I still think there's enough in this Cronulla team at the moment to beat the Cowboys.
I'm going to tip the Cowboys because jinx.
Yeah, we're going to tip the Cows.
Now, I just want to take a moment to break down the battle of the halfbacks. All the news and reports are going to be about this. On one side, you've got a Cronulla legend. Should have been in the team of the half century, let's be honest. Thought he was ripped off. Take the poll again, I think he gets in every time. You got a player who will go down in history as a Sharks best halfback. And you got Chad Townsend.
I knew it was coming. Third time tonight. Well done.
Thank you, mate. But Cowboys, jinx.
Yeah.
I just want to go on record to say we can beat it by 100. Doesn't make up for what happened last year,
No.
but I'm going to act like it does.
Yeah, look, but in the context of the season, we came off the bye, we beat the Roosters, we beat the Bulldogs. In the terms of the 5-week blocks, if we can take 10 points from this 5-week block, it's really important. So we beat these guys, we play the Dolphins. And if you can win both of those games there and take 10 points from that, it probably takes you make up for the Warriors game, you make up for the Canberra game that
we should have won, yeah. Look, yeah, I'm going to tip the Cowboys because I have to jinx. But these are the games Cronulla need to be winning.
Now, Friday night, 6 o'clock.
It's back.
This is actually going to be a really good game. It's the Parramatta Eels against the Newcastle Knights at CommBank Stadium.
Okay.
Now, Newcastle, good form.
Very good form.
Parramatta, playing well, but just not getting over the line. You could probably say the same thing about Newcastle. Newcastle lost a close game on the weekend.
Yep,
lost an even closer one at home
really
to
unlucky.
Penrith.
Yep.
They've lost 2 games by 3 points. Flip side, Parramatta were getting absolutely abused by Brisbane before they kicked in to make it less embarrassing.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure they lost the week before as well. Parramatta aren't where they want to be at the moment. And Newcastle are probably punching a little bit above, especially with the injuries. Like, make no mistake, Jaden Brayley is super important to that team in terms of the defence, and his service is above, it's above average.
Yeah, it's okay.
Right? And that's what you want from your dummy halves, right?
Kalen Ponga's just come back from another enforced layoff.
Yeah, so I really like what Newcastle are doing, and there's a lot of me that wants to tip them. However, I just think Parramatta are going to give it to them.
I think this is the week where they right the wrongs. Parramatta, look, they were beaten comprehensively by Brisbane. I think they get the chocolates this week, but I don't expect it to be a blowout.
No.
This needs to be the game where Mitch Moses just says, all right, we need to go now. Because if they drop this game, they're in real serious trouble of falling into that bottom few.
And it's not only Mitch Moses, but Dylan Brown came off a sensational season last year. He needs to go with him as well. I'm going to tip Parramatta in this game. My head and my heart are telling me the Eels are going to win this game. I just think that this is probably going to be the story of Newcastle's season. They're going to lose games by 2 and 3 and 4 points just because they don't have that quality getting over there. But Tyson Gamble is arguably my favourite player, and I don't know why. Friday night, this could be a blockbuster. We've got the Brisbane Broncos taking on the South Sydney Rabbitohs.
15th game in a row at Suncorp Stadium.
Huge game.
Big game. Origin preview almost.
Yeah, I want to say that this could have been an exceptional game, but Payne Haas and Ezra Mam out.
Yep.
I am going to lean with the Rabbitohs in this one. Dan, talk to me and tell me why Brisbane can win.
Look, they can win because Rhys Walsh is playing out of his skin. They've got 2 world-class centres, and if anyone can handle Campbell Graham, it's either of those two. They are megastars. Their forward pack is still very, very good, but Tavita Totola's due back. Now, we'll see by the time this drops, maybe the teams will be out, maybe not. He's linked in. Colin Matangi's out for an extended period, so that sort of evens out. I think this will be a blockbuster. I'm going to go Brisbane just based on their at home.
Yeah.
If it had been down here, then I'm tipping South. Latrell Mitchell had a 20-minute spell against Penrith the other night where everything he touched turned to gold. Then he went a little bit quiet. Then in the last 10 minutes, he just said, oh, yeah, bang, and destroyed them. If he does it, they blow Brisbane off the park. Sans their 2 superstars you mentioned before. I just think Brisbane are riding high and the momentum will carry them to a very close, perhaps golden point victory.
Yeah, I'm going to go Souths. I just think that Payne Haas is a massive out. He's arguably the best player in the comp at the moment. He's definitely the best forward. He's an elite level player, and Ezra Mam is playing at that level. And I just think that, one, you don't know who's going to come in at 6 for them. Are they going to move Walsh? Have they got another fullback in play? Does Tony Staggs go to 6 where he wanted to play? But then you're robbing Peter to feed Paul. I just think the loss of Payne Haas and the go forward and Junior Tola coming back, I'm going to take South by about 6.
Fair enough.
Great game. Start of your Super Saturday down at the nation's capital.
They're back.
They're back. The Raiders are taking on the Dolphins.
Now, this game, 8 weeks ago, if you'd said, can't wait. Cannot wait.
This is the second time they've played each other.
Don't care.
Don't care either.
Not only will the Canberra fans be a little bit to their certain number 6 that we mentioned earlier in the show, but you can never count the Dolphins out. If Canberra lead 20-0, you're thinking, now you're thinking, uh-oh.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't by 20, but it happened in the game that they played because Canberra were arguably the best team for a long period in that game, led 14-8, and you're just thinking, when are they going to...
Here we go,
Dolphins came back, hammer.
The bubble's got to burst.
I love the Dolphins.
It has to burst.
I think they're going to get it, but again, I'm going to tip the Raiders.
I'm going to tip Canberra.
Yeah.
1, because they're at home, and 2, because only one team's come off the bye and lost. Not sure who that is, Tigers, but they're better. Canberra just.
I love what the Dolphins are doing, though. I love everything about them.
15 suspensions this week would be nice.
Yes, absolutely.
1 week suspensions.
5:30 at Four Pines Stadium in Manly. We'll see the Seagulls take on your Gold Coast Titans.
Yes. Now, speaking of a game that could go either way.
Dreadful.
This
game will be crap.
It will be terrible. They're going to name Tommy Turbo, is what I'm hearing.
He's not going to play.
This despite the fact that he hasn't been able to run for 3 weeks. He got mowed down by a forward who, despite Manly fans protesting, did happen. Which Kamanu may be quick. He may have had a head start, blah, blah, blah. Fully fit Turbo burns him. I'm not having a go. It is what it is. He cannot play this game.
No, he can't play this game. Ruben Garrick's going to go to fullback.
Yes, and put anyone on the wing.
They've got adequate players who can cover Turbo for a week or two.
More than fine. Let him rest, because if he goes down...
I wouldn't even send him to Suncorp for Magic Round with the way that surface is.
Just sit him.
Give him 2 weeks off. They're sitting pretty at the moment. That draw, I think it's got them in second.
Yeah, they should be fine.
So that'll be all right. I am still going to tip Manly.
I'm not.
I know.
1, because I have to, and 2, no, it's purely because I have to.
Yeah, the Titans as well. Like that 20, losing by 20, or having a 26-point lead and losing can do 2 things. 1, they can drop their bundle, which I hope happens because I really despise the Titans and I don't know why. 2, they could absolutely bounce back. But I think if this game was up on the Gold Coast, I'd pick them to win. It's at Manly. I'm going to pick them to get flogged.
Manly are always good at home. If I can just have the camera for a moment, just to send a message to Justin Holbrook, you suck.
Quit.
You are so bad. You had Jaden Campbell sitting on the bench, sitting there with his beautiful hair and his equally beautiful eyes, just sitting there getting cold. And with 6 minutes to go, you think, better put him on. When he could have gone on
a dummy half.
Anywhere to change the game, and you suck. Titans by 13.
Oh, boy. Saturday night.
Super Saturday.
Penrith Stadium.
Main event. Ooh, the Penny Panthers. Who are they playing?
They're playing the Tigers.
I've seen Guru, our old mate, who is just making trouble left, right and centre, and I love it. He's come out and suggested that Penrith will rest some players. Now, automatically I thought, they could run their New South Wales team out. Automatically I thought they can run their cup team out and win, or even their flag team will be. Who knows? Even the bloody Harold Matts boys will probably tap the Tigers at the moment. And then he's replied to such instances and said, no, it's more about players having injuries. No, it's not. It's about them playing the Tigers. They will win this game by 40, and anything less is a failure and should see Cleary sacked, the other Cleary dropped,
and signed for Cronulla,
and Luai shot into the sun. This is a flogging. Who are you tipping, Terry?
I'm going to tip the Tigers.
You're going to tip the Tigers?
I'm going to tip the Tigers. I'm going to tip them to break the bubble, and if ever you're going to break the bubble, right?
Wouldn't it be incredible? They've had 12 losses, a club record. They haven't won in like 18 months or 10 years or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's 9 months since they've won a game of footy.
To come out and beat Penrith at Penrith on a Saturday night, and I hope it's raining sideways.
They nearly did it last year. They were up 8-2 with 30 seconds to go. Toto scored in the corner. Cleary kicked it from the sideline. They kicked the field. Bring that. Yeah. Because everything else that you've brought this year has been crap.
If they're leading 8-2 at any time, I'll eat my hat. This has got 55 written all over.
Right, now, it's time to give the clock.
How many points?
Start. I'm going to give the clock...
-20.
Yeah. So I'm going to give Penrith a 25.5 with the clock.
With the clock.
Which means Penrith need to score 56 points.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll do it by half-time.
Oh, yeah.
Go the Tigers. It's been 9 months since the Tigers won a game of losers. Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock in New Zealand.
No.
The Warriors looking to bounce back against the Roosters.
The broken Warriors, yeah.
Yeah, broken Warriors. Roosters are getting some troops back. Looked like they were going to coast to a big Anzac Day win and got bailed. Yeah,
they got very, very lucky. Got the bounce of the ball. Let's leave it at that. There was at a stage where Suaalii run through and scored, and I tweeted, "Oh, here comes 50." And if Brandon Smith hadn't laid on the ground for 5 minutes, then passed the ball, how that got let go, I don't know. But anyways, moving on. If he scores that try, they win by 50.
The referee had a really, really good point because Ben Hunt asked, "How did you miss that?" He said, "I can't see through players," and it looked like he got swiveled. Yeah. So fair enough, right? My issue with that point there was that Vossi, the commentator, was going, "Well, why can the bunker intervene?" Because that's what it does.
Yeah, you can't do it. Now, if he'd taken the tackle, it would have been play on. Okay, yeah. It's different. If they score then, they win by 20. They win by 30, they post 50, and it's over for the Dragons. But they didn't.
They didn't.
And they couldn't get away, even with the man... Did they have a man over? No, they had a man under.
No, they had a man under, yeah.
No, well, and they couldn't.
Yeah.
They suck.
They played their best football when Radley was off the field.
They did, because they dug in.
They dug in.
Brandon Smith played well, but, mate, they're playing a team who were much better than the Dragons, but a team minus...
Tohu Harris
is gone. Chance Nickel-Clockstead's gone because he failed a HIA.
Yeah, Jazz Tavanga limped off.
Yeah, gone. And there was another injury too.
Sean Johnson was getting iced at the end of the game.
It's going to be the ghost of the New Zealand Warriors, which is a real shame.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Roosters in this.
I'm going to tip the Roosters. I think I would have even at full strength, but I feel pretty confident they're finding some football, some form. I do like Kiwi at 7. I thought he played his best game of the season.
I do, and I thought I think he's been really quiet this year. And I thought it brought Joey Manu into the game
Definitely.
a lot more.
Definitely.
The other thing as well is that Sam Walker has not done anything in New South Wales Cup to suggest that he needs to come back.
No.
So this has been a good move by Trent Robinson. For mine, though, I don't think that there's going to be the creativity in that halves combination against the good teams who can sit down and dig in on their line and defend. But they've got to run with it for the time being. I'm going to pick the Roosters in this one, probably by about 10.
Yeah, handsomely.
And finally, to ruin your Sunday afternoon, you have to watch the Dragons again against the Dogs. No. Who are you picking?
The ref.
Who are you picking?
Dragons.
I'll go against you. No.
By default, they were pretty good. And the Dogs are missing
So many players, yeah. Oh,
So what you're saying, Terry, is we have a New South Wales Cup side
yeah.
versus the Bulldogs.
Well done.
Thank you. I think Dragons win by default. I think they're the less broken team.
Yeah, I the same as you.
Can we just hurry up and sack Anthony Griffin, please?
I've seen people come out and say that it was a masterstroke from Serraldo putting Burton at the 7. I wasn't. Didn't do anything.
It's achieved nothing.
Absolutely achieved
He made
nothing.
one run and threw a forward pass. It's still going forward.
Yeah.
All game.
I don't know. Nah.
I'm going to tip the Dragons because
Yeah, I'll tip the Dragons. as
default.
well. Yeah.
But I don't care.
I don't want to tip the Dragons. I don't care for the Dragons. I probably won't watch this game. Well, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by our good friends at Top Sport and the Stubby Club. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Get your merch from there as well. Give Dan and I a thumbs up on YouTube.
Please, more subscribers.
Yeah, more subscribers.
We're looking for 100. We had thousands. We lost them.
Yeah.
We need to refine them.
What do you do?